Hi everyone, welcome to We First podcast. We're excited to share that a wonderful and dynamic event will be taking place on Sunday, the 15th of March. This event focuses on healthy living, natural foods, and the purification of the mind and soul, promoting a positive lifestyle for the community. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the organizers of the Ital Food Festival, who will tell us more about this inspiring initiative and what you can expect on the day.
When you're in tune with yourself and your body, you do aspire to be the best you, and in so doing, you develop that sense of consciousness for yourself that I'm only going to do good things, I'm only going to put good things into my body, and I think at the core of it, that is what Ital is. You want to avoid, you do things to avoid going to the hospital, to avoid sickness, to avoid, more medical bills. It's about the quality of life that you're living presently. In the moment in time, you want to thrive. We're not just living and trying to survive, but we want to thrive healthily in a healthy environment as well. And so for me personally, Ital Livity is living my best life. Living the best way that I can, honoring the goddess in me and respecting that in other people and my family. Give thanks.
As Rastafari, we always say that Rastafari is not a religion. Simply put, a religion is a set of rules, right? Rastafari is more than that. Rastafari is a complete liberty. Yes, there are the rules, but there's also a lot of things that are unwritten that is about learning and growing through your entire life. That's why when Rastafari, when we talk about our personal journey, we talk about a seed being planted. For myself, the seed was planted when I was a child, because when I was a child in my parents' house, which was a meat-eating house, before the age of 13, I had received a revelation that I did not want to eat meat because I was exposed to disease. I was exposed to disease in my family at a very young age. Not to say that I was facing the disease, but I witnessed very close family members going through some very dread experiences, battling for their health, and something came into my consciousness, and that was my opening. And so, we do take this very personally. I also want to commend the Ital Food Festival as a Rastafari, as a part of the Rastafari movement, because Rastafari people are known leaders when it comes to health on the whole. We are known as trendsetters. We receive a great deal of respect, also combined with curiosity, questioning. The Ital Food Festival and events like this are really important for the community, for now bringing that heights to the leadership of how Rastafari has been doing our thing, why we do things the way we do. And it is so teachable and it is so accessible, right? And so this team, as well as our colleagues, we really want to bring that as a strength to the community, to the wider community, and even to the world, to acknowledge and give reverence to our ancients, our elders on whose shoulders we stand. They have really paved the way for us to be here, right? Our ancient Rastafari brethren and sisters, and our ancient Italists. And we just want to show respect and continue the work in a way where the message is even more universal. So that's what I would add about Rastafari and Ital Livity.
This question is to Mars, Sister Mars. Tell me something. Being born and brought up in the Rastafarian faith, how did you survive not eating KFC or even Royal Castle, Burger King? To the youth, so they please explain.
Some top names they call. Well, to answer it simply, I survived. And I believe it has a lot to do with parental guidance, because I've been eating like this from the womb. I don't know nothing else. So It's in having, obviously a person will have the likes and the dislikes. But to say, like how others might give or they might have difficulties getting the young ones to eat certain vegetables. Mommy, I want this, mommy, I want that. It wasn't necessarily like that with us because vegetables is all we had. And by me saying vegetables is all we had, I always used to tell myself, I don't like hippie food. So not just because I say, well, I eat an ital or I eat an plant-based, it means that the food flavorless, it means that it's bland, it means that it's colorless. Ital is a very rich and nourishing food. The same things you're using to make KFC taste good is what I eating. I eating it straight from the source.
Okay.
So I cut out the middleman in that sense, right? And I'm not saying that you won't have influences, but when it comes to understand where the meat coming from or where the flesh coming from, because I use it to meat. Meat doesn't mean flesh. Meat means nourishing food. And in the first instance, the scripture says he gave us herbs and seed for us to use as meat, right? So meat to me and flesh is two completely different things.
So good point.
I believe I stray a little bit
No.
from your question.
But
But it's not an easy task because we're in the age of media, advertisements everywhere you go. Everywhere you're seeing cheese melting and looking this.
wow.
And you're seeing people eating it and you're looking like, wow, why can't I have that too? But I believe once you understand what's being put into these things, you won't want it enter your body. So
What about ice cream? Yeah?
I eat ice cream. Who tell you I don't eat ice cream?
Cake? Oh.
This is what I'm saying. It have a huge misconception that when you eat plant-based, it's like you don't eat food. Before it had eggs to put in a cake, people was making cake without eggs. So you don't need these ingredients to get your product. So I haven't missed out on anything. And it reached that point where if I see something on YouTube and they're using meat for that, I'm going to find a way to make it for myself without meat. And I could give it to once, and once will be like, you lie. That is meat, that is flesh. Don't tell me you ain't use no flesh for that.
So ham for Christmas is what, meat or flesh? Flesh? Okay.
What do you mean?
Huh?
In terms of your two words,
Yeah, white meat and what is flesh, that sort of thing. So
Flesh is what I go use to describe.
white ham?
No.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So that is basically it.
I want to add to something like that. I want to just say that culturally, we center meat too much. We center the animal products, and I don't think that is something our ancestors did traditionally. We ate significantly less animal products back then, talking to elders, talking to our grandparents, than we do now. Not even grandparents, but just parents on the whole as well too. They did not eat as much meat. Further to that, there was a connection with the land and a connection with the food that they ate, which is what the ital is. You connect to the environment around you. So even so, people who didn't practice ital, but they ate meat, it was more of a connection to the animals. They probably reared their own animals or grew their own food in the backyard, So this demand for meat is something that we're not realizing is being pushed on us. It is not who we are. It is a demand that is being pushed on us to say you all need to eat meat. And this is what Ital Food Festival is. We want to eliminate the meat from the plate and center the plants and show you all the goodness of it for nutrition, for an environment, for spiritual reasons, to protect the animals. And there's so much that we could talk about when we're talking about industrial animal agriculture, which is not our backyard farms that we used to keep long time, but it is where the majority of our meat is coming from to date. Yeah, the majority of beef comes from the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest is so important. It's the lungs of the earth, and we are clearing down trees to rear food for animals or rare animals. And these are the global statistics that we have out there that nobody is talking about. The majority of land used right now in the world, the majority of it is used for animal production or food for animals. So that translates to less than 20% of the land being used to grow food for human beings. That's a serious issue. And then we could drill down even more to the impact that this animal production is having on the environment in terms of, just picture millions of cows in a factory setting, which is torturous conditions, number one, and very unsanitary, number two. And all of this pollution, waste, chemicals, antibiotics. It's a totally unhealthy system of eating. And as Makeda alluded to, why are we going through the middleman to get these nutrients when we could get it straight from the source? Photosynthesis and plants give us the energy that we need. Now, a plant-based diet or a vegan diet or an Ital Livity diet is not a fad diet. It is not a trend anymore. There's fact-based research, peer-reviewed research that proves that it is a sustainable way of living. It is a better way of living. We reduce our carbon footprint by eating climate-friendly meals, and this is what I mean to say the impact is so much further than just, minuscule us. We impact so much. Our health, NCDs, non-communicable diseases that people think are genetic, or they're not, I'll go back to why I created this Ital Food Fest, because I was observing how people were making their purchasing decisions with very thoughtless, very consumed by the market. What is trending and colors and keywords, but nobody's stopping to read the labels. Nobody's stopping to say, what does this have in it? How is this impacting my body? How is this going to energize me or not energize me? And so I thought that there was a big missing link between what we eat and how it impacts on our specific body. If in the first instance, that is the health we're talking about. And many non-communicable diseases like diabetes, cancer, hypertension, heart disease, gout, and a lot of other things can be cured, can be reversed, can be eliminated, can be avoided just by consciously, mindfully choosing what we put into our system. Right? Give thanks.
I could testify to that. Where we're in your own plant-based, basically having your own garden and doing these things is way more healthier than buying it in the grocery as well. I've experienced that and presently doing it. The son is doing it, and yes, that is 100% true. 100%. Alright, well, clearing up everything, coming to the end of everything here, from what I've gathered at the end of the day, it's all about the health. I've seen where the RasTafarian faith has plunged forward in where health is concerned, and which I fully, the first movement, fully support the Ital Food Festival, and we'd like everyone to be there. Come out, support, come and see what's about, participate, and share that love and be healthy. So I want to thank everyone for listening to this program, this podcast, and the first movement always doing it and doing it proper, doing it effectively. Thank you everyone. Love you.
Give thanks. Thanks for having us. Give thanks to everyone listening.